flashbang and a Molotov on that SK Gaming side, so they need to open up with a duel as well, in my opinion, to get one of these sides down. And I think Cold Zero is going to be the flank here.
And this is going to be so hard to play. So Insta is sitting back at Coop. You've got a player kind of very passive by drop as well. Now, the molly and the smoke is going to give away a lot. Insta now going to be forced away from this sort of position. And there you go. Cold Zero now finds this. Is going to put pressure towards Connector as well. The bomb's actually going to come over anyway. Taco tries to make the play, but already Cold Zero in such a good spot here. He can deny the rotate. He's going to show presence. He can back off this as well now. Allow that bomb time to get into position. Let's see if they can hinder this any way, shape, or form. They still have the AWP up, and the bomb just crossed towards the site. Oh, time as well. That was in the last couple of seconds.
Nice push from Console, and he gets into the side. Now it's Cold Zero against Insta. AWP against AK, and Cold Zero can get a 4K here, and he does so. Insta is taken out, and SK Gaming once again on this T side with the rotations. And
down. Taco only with a CZ, does have an M4 to pick up. Not sure if that was spotted out. No, Rixo didn't see this, so still a chance for Taco. After plant positions work okay, because as soon as he kind of takes the fight on one, there should be... No. Falls back towards the site. Plays this one to the time. Taco desperately trying to find him now, trying to work out the odds and the favors he does. It goes so favorably well to him. Not sure what the play was coming out from Singularity there, but again, in those individual situations,
this is way better than they could have hoped for, and Taco starts it off, and that's a good beginning for SK.
Finally getting a bit of an opening pick without an instant trade off the back of it. It feels like they were so consistently getting right back at them. There was no free pick anywhere. Fallen was consistently punished before. Now let's see if he can rise to the occasion. Yes, he can. Nice work from the double ops. Taco and Fallen both getting into this one, picking apart Singularity, and they're down to 3 now, so limited options, but they could always group and just hit up on long. But again, already Fallen adjusts, falls back a little bit, Fur controlling towards middle, and SK wait.
And this is such an important round as well. If SK Gaming can turn this. Still a lot of utility on the T side, so 3 smokes, and let's see Fallen.
He's not feeling pressure, is he? Let's be honest about this. Cool, calm, no worries. Flash comes out, still fine. That's the Fallen show you want to be seeing. 3 kills in that round, enough to stabilize SK Gaming here. And
making this retake work, but otherwise it's going to be very hard. The post-plant positions are perfect for Gambit.
Kusta, though, still alive and kicking. Kusta again. Shall I just keep saying this man's name? It looks like no one else is coming alive. And yes, it is just Kusta. This is his ace. If he gets it done, no, he finally falls. But Ricky, where are you right now? You've got to be doing just as good. Hobbit playing the time perfectly. And that's the closer of the first half of OT. And a lifeline for Gambit. Position's going to make it hard, considering Mo does have Nort playing back into underpass. You hate losing the bomb here, because it's so hard to play back in towards. He's going to have to hit a bit of a blinder on this. Other hand, flash fine, you can turn it. You can drop towards the side. There's opportunities, but it's not easy, it's not nice, and you have to predict exactly where this guy's going to be.
See what they decide to do. Right now they're just waiting out, making sure that the CTs aren't popping out or doing something weird, and then they try to punish them off that if they do so. And when the timer hits around like 10-15 seconds from now, they have to go for the bomb or decide to save it.
Well, let's see what the decision is. Awkward. Might it be? They're going to hear these steps at the very least.
Yeah.
Even with the timing of the train, doesn't really make much of a difference. And what?
Okay.
Bo finds Ricky? How is this even happening? How is that allowed? How is that a one player?
How does that come down to a 1v1?
I don't know. Well, to even find that kill early with that smoke, very nice, but only 1 kill to come from it. And a little bit of stabilizing moments there coming out.
Yeah, and I had the fear that if Gambit was going to take this round, they would run away with the game, but now that fear is not so real anymore because CLG is just stabilized. And as you said, did you see that shot I made? That was ridiculous. But yeah, as you said, like in the beginning of this, Cutler is one of these, in my opinion, very underrated players because he fills in roles and does things that the others aren't really like doing. And he's playing 3 kills with no investment whatsoever against fully bought up, 4 bought up AKs and one Uzi. That's pretty much a fair win. But he has a chance to either save or go for it, and he's saving right now. And that is obviously the correct choice here.
What?
Or does Ethan think that...
Ethan?
I don't know if he's just playing with our
I hope he's just messing with us there.
Yeah.
And just like, he lets someone slip through that Zeus, but he still finds 2 in the end. And it's just down to Cutler here. And Mo's got the drop on him, surely. No! Cutler, so fights through it. And it's a 1v1. Zeus, 3 kills this round. Bomb to hand against Cutler. Bomb comes in. Cutler, are you going to go full NA on us and just push smoke? No. He bides his time, but Zeus, we know what he likes to do. Cutler gives it away! No, he shoots through, he doesn't land it, and Zeus will take that with a grin on his face.
That's in a great position in the middle of things, and KNG then holding the longer angle and tries to do the spray transfer, gets the first one, not the second, but still, good hold.
KNG's now in trouble though, he can't back away freely because they're pushing up middle. He's got support coming through finally from the balcony, but they could be anywhere by now. Lovely adjustment though. Chris J gets completely spanked back, and the farm is sublime, spots another, and it's an absolute masterclass from KNG. You do not see that every day.
That was pixel perfect from KNG there. What a round.
What can you do?
Now, Mousesports are running this 4AK 1 Tech 9 like kind of setup that is pretty common nowadays, but it all comes down to how you're going to use it. And if you're going to go for a quick push, which is what they're doing, this comes into play. Let's see Steel getting the first one. Nate comes in. Surely now he's holding the position, and Steel is doing work right now. He's doing work. He's getting every single frag. And rotates back. Perfect round from Steel.
Yeah, a bit of a slam dunk
1
for
HP
him.
to survive as well, I think.
So nice there.
Very low on HP, and this is where the lack of utilities is actually hitting them, because they know exactly where the terrorists are coming from, but they can't flash themselves in. They can't like use a Molotov to block something off. And now it's all down to firepower. Bolt and Lucas both picking up 1, and now it's 3v2, and Dennis is still low HP. Picks up 1 though. 2v2, bomb planted.
But they've got to know there's a player on long. He got a kill there, didn't he? Yeah, it was okay. That's an interesting one. Bolt's now last alive. 1v1. Christian does have a molly, but where is that bomb planted? Right at the back of the site. He can get the molly down. He doesn't need to get this one away. Bolt, he gets the shot. The molly comes in. It's not quite on the bomb, but it will spread to it. That's going to be a lot harder to deal with, even though Chris J is on almost no HP. There's so few options here for Bolt. He's going back in on no kit as well. 9 seconds. 8. It's ticking down, and Chris J, he tries to make the peak in the last couple of seconds, but that clock is ticking fast.
Trying to do something gimmicky. It doesn't quite pay off all the way, but they do get an op into E2K's hands, and so you can see maybe he can make a play. He takes down Dennis. He actually gets it into a 3-on-3, and something awkward's going on here in window room. Crims walks right past Shroud, and Shroud gonna be able to backstab. No, he's gonna get backstabbed by Flusha. He's gonna get the knife kill. Oh my goodness, that was a circus of a situation on that catwalk. Down to 2-on-2.
Stewie. Up in hand, nothing with a P250, but considering that Cloud9 really came into this with nothing at all, this wouldn't be a bad take out of it, and Stewie's still on the prowl. Now, of course, the bomb has been spotted on B. He knows exactly where he needs to move to. It's going to be 2 very angry terrorists to contend with, though. Stewie peering round the corner, can see where the bomb's planted. Oh my goodness! Flusher gets nailed in the head! Oh, and Stewie's pulled it off! The clutch is a reality! What a play that is. I think it was a 4K as well. Actually, they did win a rifle round. I think it was their first buy. It was 3-0. They had 3 UMPs, if memory serves me correctly. I think it was 3 UMPs, an AWP and an M4, and they made it work. Either way, Fnatic now find themselves in unfamiliar territory on an eco. Ooh. Oh, and this could just be a stomp in mid. Stewie's only able to get 1, but this is where Automatic steps up to the plate and connects 4. Can't get too carried away about that. It was a full-on eco from the Swedes. At Cloud9, they beat them later on once they take mid control. That's really what the doctor ordered. JW's going to keep the player advantage going in their favor. They are at a lack of nades though at this stage. With still over a minute to play with, just a smoke and a molly. And as a result of the lack of CTs on the map, it does afford them some avenues of aggression. And it looks like it's going to be B once again, Dust, where they look to try and pierce through.
Man, it seems that is the case. We do see them gathering up now, throwing down the nade. Shroud, though, playing from inside the side, able to take one out, but they're able to trade through evenly, and it means they keep the man advantage, and they will get the bomb down much earlier this time. It's just going to be on Scoodle and Nothing to try to retake. They both have kits, but they don't have utility other than Nothing's Incendiary, who just spent it.
From 2 separate angles to boot. Nothing needs to get this 1v1 duel going in his favor, and it was labored, but JW picks it up. 1 health separates the 2 of them, and Crims will get. There's a lot of firepower, and there's plenty of utility plus kits. It's not a foregone conclusion. Nothing's fragged, though, is going to make things a lot more possible. But Dennis now is going to come through with 3 quick fire frags, not able to get a 4th. Automatic will stop the party for now. But is he just delaying the inevitable, or is he actually going to clutch this one out? He's made himself one step closer.
Oh, man.
Crims against Automatic. Positionally, Automatic now has
To be offside here.
Coldzera. A phenomenal talent. Is he going to be up to the task as they line up for him and he goes to the double spray? Immortals are not getting the avenging frag either. This has quickly turned into SK Gaming's round. The bomb also not under control. KNG has been dinked down to 14 and gets finished off, and Coldzera's on a tear. He could be on for the ace. He's going to run out of bullets, whips to his USP, lands a headshot. Coldzera coming up clutch. Weakened Fur. Out comes Taco into the open. Will be laid to rest. And well, it should be mentioned that SK do have a player advantage now. They're actually in the driver's seat. Sure, there's an AWP in the hands of KNG, who is such a threat with this weapon, and they may be able to get a bomb planted. Going to be boosting up. That's going to put the pressure onto SK Gaming's shoulders as they look to try and carve out a retake. Lucas with one, KNG with another one, and Phelps is going to go down. The first player to get tagged is the last to fall. Amal's done it again. SK Gaming, one of the best teams in the world, are being schooled by their Brazilian brothers.
Yeah, KNG went to work with the AWP on a squeaky door there. He had plenty of kills on that round. Just great work from him, the new guy to the team. A lot of people were talking this guy up from the Brazilian scene, even Fallen himself.
Works from his position. If he's able to get a kill, won't be happening this time around. Two players still over on the B side, one of which is the man, the myth, with the Coldzera, but not able to get a kill so far. There we go into Lucas, who peeks one too many times, and Coldzera, who is quite an animal with the deagle, is in position to maybe make this strike, and they're going to be having two flanks coming into fruition right now as Henny goes in and lands the shot onto Taco. Coldzera has the bomb in front of him, but he also has Henny's AWP to contend with. He picks a low
By Lucas already doing a little bit of chip damage.
As you highlighted, though, it's still fairly early days. But SK, although it's early days, they're going to have to start converting some of these rounds, otherwise it will get out of control. There's Fallen with a 1D onto Lucas. Still player advantage before upon Immortals. That's a tasty one tap as well. KNG, what a performance
This guy's the truth.
So far.
He's doing it all. Rifles, AWP. I mean, obviously he's up against his pistols, but the shots are still crisp. And like I said, I think he just gels a little bit better with that aggressive tempo to him, as this should be a 9th round for Immortals now. Bomb going down. Not much Cold can do, but look for exits here with the P250. Does get the headshot on the steal.
Not able to get the weapon, though, which is going to be bitterly disappointing. I'm sure he was hoping for an exit frag. 9-1. Who would have thought this would be the start in the way of KNG? They still only have a one-player deficit, and Phelps on the cross is able to land the one tap with the USP. Bolts now comes through and finds himself two adversaries, and that's one too many as far as he's concerned, leaving Lucas with the arduous task of retaking the site. KNG will be rolling his eyes, I'm sure. Guys, I got you the opening 3 picks. What more can I do?
There really wasn't much more he could do. I think the SK just played that really well to double up on that Vince rotation like that, rather than like splitting up and one trying to plant and all that good stuff. Like, they really handled it as best they could. And now, yeah, Lucas is in a really tough spot. He's got armor and a USP, but no kit. He might be able to pick one up. I think there's one right there. Yeah, so that'll give him a little bit more time. He has a smoke as well, but he has to hit some really nice shots here.
That's a first. And now Taco at the back of the site. You see Lucas doesn't really know where the last player is. He's checking every angle possible. He's going to pull out his smoke, and Taco is able to use the USP against the CTs. Too close for comfort.
Safely for Immortals as they close in, but Steel gets aggressive. He finds 2. Very well done. Finds a 3rd. That is as good as it gets for Steel. Holy cow. That couldn't have gone better, really.
That could be the moment that sees SK take a knee and bow to this. Steel's gonna go in, mate. You've got 3 bullets left. Oh, he's gonna land it into the back of Fallen, who is already weakened. Steel with a 4K. The adrenaline surging, maybe having a point to prove. Can he go 2 better is the question. Fnatic trying to keep their head above water. The pressure, of course, mounting for CLG as the bomb has been planted, but it hasn't been down for that long, so they have time to burn. Finesse with the headshot instantly landing into the dome of Olafmeister, and Crims on the cross with the Glock is going to try and make this one count. He's able to get 1, and also a second through the smoke. A huge clutch from Crims. And Fnatic, it was close, but they get the job done.
It's a pretty interesting mask to be wearing out in the crowd. Good old Dobie. Didn't end well for him. Spoiler alert. So situations like this, you want to give him a crack at it. We'll see what Fnatic wants to do. They're actually going 5 rifles, including Dennis still on the Galil. A lot of utility in their hands, looking for heavy inner halls presence early on. Again, chasing down Ethan right away.
He's got a FAMAS. He's going to put down all 3 players. You're expecting him to get traded eventually. But he stands tall with 3. Finally falls down. Flusher and Crims trying to come to the rescue. Their fallen comrades. I do like that call.
And in fact, Fnatic are basically pulling out of Ivy other than leaving Olaf behind. Now they're just in their default, really. I mean, you'll see them open this way a lot with the players in their current positions. But they're starting to get down to the last bit of this round, so something will have to give soon. Giving JW one last crack at an op pick before they start looking to explode on this outer bomb site, you'd imagine. But they don't really have a whole lot of utility to do it off of. Just maybe one standard smoke wall on bomb train's all they're really going to have.
4 smokes in their possession. Now for 25 seconds, they've really not tried to make too many inroads. Now finally they're going to start to push through team main. Kusta takes a shot to the kneecap. Will be finished off courtesy of Dennis, who goes in for a second. These entries so vitally important when the time is this scarce. And Finesse is the next player to meet his demise. And again, it's the Grim Reaper of Dennis, who is claiming souls left, right, and center. He may not be done with his murderous rampage just yet. CLG, though, they're piecing out. They don't want